Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to talk about a tough topic, and that is the loss to Miami. This was a horrible game all around, and I just think let's start with the offense. Today, the offense couldn't get anything going really. We'd get down into the red zone or close to the red zone, and we just stall out, depend on Nick Folk to keep us in the game, which he did. And in all seriousness, Jake Bailey and Nick Folk have been the most consistent and best Patriots players of 2020. They've been so good. I think we should definitely sign Nick Folk back because he will be a free agent this offseason. But anyways, the offense wasn't really great, and we really lucked out with the Cam fumble. That was just awful. I think he should have just went out of bounds. We weren't really going to get much closer to the first down anyways. That was just tough. And then the Jacoby Myers fumble. That was tough. I mean, some of you are blaming it on Cam. I can kind of see where that's coming from, where he floated up a little bit too high, but ultimately Jacoby Myers has to hold on to that ball and keep running. And the other thing was, too, there was some pressure at the line, and I think just Cam wanted to be safe. Jacoby was open, get it at least to him, and he should have held on to it better. Um, and then the other thing is I was surprised. Sony Michel was actually doing pretty good, and we really when it was 6-0, I think we should have started running the ball a little more, start to take some time off the clock, and you just kind of keep Tua on the bench. It would have worked out a lot better. And Sony Michel had a pretty decent game. As some of you may know, I'm more of a Damian Harris guy. But he did. I'll admit he did have a pretty good game today, and I think we should have used him a little bit more. I also think we should have used J.J. Taylor a little more. He had one carry, and I think I was in another play, and it looked like he got injured. I think he was limping off onto the sideline, from what I saw, and so maybe there was an injury. But I think we could have used him in a lot of ways. Maybe jet sweeps with J.J. Taylor. That's what he's been pretty effective with earlier in the year, and he's a burst type runner, if you know what I mean, kind of like what Dion Lewis was. I just think these next couple weeks, I don't know if this will happen, but I think there's a good chance that we'll end up starting Stidham on the offense, which is fine. I mean, we're out of it anyways. And as some of you may know, I'm a huge fan of Cam Newton as a person, and I'll admit I've let I've let my feelings of my like I love Cam. He's a cool dude. I let kind of my feelings, no homo, get in front of how he's actually been performing and playing for a few times. Obviously, I do stand by my Rams video, which some of you didn't like, but that's okay. Everybody has different opinions. I'm just telling you what I saw. You can disagree. But anyways, next thing I'd like to talk about is the defense. And the defense, that was horrible. I mean, Ahmed just ran all over us. We couldn't stop him, even though we knew there was going to be a run. I think that's been one of our problems all year is the line. We haven't really had a great defensive line this year. They couldn't really get it together. Only game they really got it together was in the Chiefs game, and of course, we didn't really have a quarterback that game. So, I think the problem with this team overall, and especially this defense this year, because the defense has been one of the more inconsistent things, is just showing up at the wrong time, right? We showed up at the Chiefs game. Our whole defense played their butts off. Great defense at the Chiefs game, and we lost because we didn't have an offense. They showed up then, but they couldn't show up the next week against the Broncos. Granted, we didn't really have much practice those couple weeks, but still, I think the Broncos were a bad enough team where we could get away with having simpler play calling. But there's just multiple times this year when we just didn't show up on offense and then showed up on defense, or we showed up on offense and didn't show up on defense. So it's just frustrating. This team is so inconsistent, and that's been one of our huge the huge problem of the whole year. I always thought, oh, we're gonna get a grip on it, but we really never did. So it's tough, but we've had 20 plus years of greatness, So it's time for us Patriots fans to maybe step back for a year this year, hopefully. Hopefully we'll be right back in it next year. But, it was a long time coming, and we're lucky it lasted this long. But, find a team to root for in the playoffs if you want. If you don't want to root for anybody, that's fine. Do as you will. But we'll see you guys.